If your to-do list is a mile long and you're still wondering what you've actually accomplished this school year, this episode is your permission slip to flip the script. Instead of focusing on everything you have to do, we're actually going to celebrate what you've already done. Stick around because by the end of this episode, you'll not only feel better about your year, you'll walk away with a tool that can help you plan for next year too. Let's make a did list together. Hey friends, welcome to Enjoy Teaching Again, the podcast for teachers who love the work but need a little spark to bring the joy back. I'm your host, Elizabeth Peterson, classroom teacher, arts integration specialist, and passionate educator of over 25 years. If you're overwhelmed by behaviors, disengaged students, and long, exhausting days, you are not alone. But together, we can turn things around and you can teach with confidence and purpose again. So locate that cold coffee of yours, find your favorite pen, I know you have one, and let's dive in. It's time to get inspired and enjoy teaching again. I'd love to share this short and sweet review with you. It's titled Great Advice, and it says, "What a great show. Love how she talks you through practical, realistic tips." That's really awesome because I'm all about practical, and this episode is actually going to give you a really practical tool that you can use that will really wrap up your school year or just about any time or season of life that you need to. So let's get to it. Now, I'm curious if you're overwhelmed by the end of the year checklist, like all the different things that you need to do before the end of the school year. It really seems like it's never ending, right? And let's face it, it's also not just at school, but it's at home too, right? It seems like every time I turn the corner, there's yet another thing that I need to add to my list. I feel like I have my hand on my phone constantly saying, "Hey Siri," and then adding yet another reminder of something I just need to add to my to-do list. Constant. And I'm really sure that I'm not alone in this. Well, a number of years ago, I did decide to flip that script and started creating something that gave me a little bit more of a positive vibe than just the unending to-do list. I started creating my very own did list. Now, this idea actually originated way back in 2010 when my principal made a list like this that included all the things at our school that she could think of that were worthy of praise. And she was doing this to create a document that she could share at our school committee meeting. And it was her quote-unquote good things document. It became an annotated list that was 9 pages long. I remember she shared it with us at one of our staff meetings before she presented it to the school committee. And as corny as we thought it was going to be, when she actually started reading off all the things, it really did lift our spirits. And we thought, wow, we really did do a lot during the school year. And it was fun for us to hear her actually acknowledging all the different things that she saw in our school. And then, of course, she invited us also to add to it if we felt that she had missed something. So shout out to you, Lou. You really made an impression on me that year. So that's how it started. And then I started doing it myself and bringing it to other teachers inside of all of my workshops and courses and retreats. And they loved the idea of the did list as well. Now, let me tell you 3 reasons why you really need to consider making your own did list, okay? For one, it's a great way to celebrate your wins. Now, these are big wins and the smallest wins. It could be things like conferencing with students about their writing, fitting that kind of thing into your schedule. It could be filing your papers in a more organized way. It could be keeping better track of your guided reading groups. Or maybe that you and your team created an amazing project together. That's definitely one of the things that's going to be on my did list this year. A musician biography project that my team and I did for the entire 5th grade at our school. It was pretty amazing. That's one of my big did list items. But I also have some small items as well. For example, keeping all of my classes' materials organized and in baskets so that I can get to them whenever I need them. Even having sharpened pencils ready to go. Another reason to have a did list is so that you can reflect on your growth. Think about what worked. And, you'll naturally also think about what flopped. But you can also think about what would you want to do again? There's so many things that we do each year that are the same from year to year. But if you think about it, some of those same things you do a little bit better, right? And then there are some of those things that we always want to change up. And how did you embellish on something you've done in the past? For me, I actually really grew in my organization this year because I went from having to organize just for 26 or so kids to organizing for hundreds of kids in this new position that I had this school year. Another thing I really grew with this year, and this may sound silly, but you might get me on this one, is that I made it a habit to actually have lunch with my team every single Friday. And for me, that was a sense of growth. That's definitely on my did list because the last few years I had been eating at my desk, finishing up some work here and there. A third reason to really consider having your own did list is that it actually helps you set some meaningful goals for next year. Taking that time to actually reflect on what you've done, what you've accomplished, how you've grown, and essentially in the same process you're going to think about and reflect on things that didn't work so well. You're going to be able to plan for next year based on what worked and what didn't work this year. Now, I've mentioned a few times in the past that I am working on something behind the scenes. And what that is going to be some ways that you can actually reflect on where you've been as a teacher, where you've been with your classroom, and start to refresh and reset your classroom. This is going to be something that really helps to transform how you think about your classroom and the things that you have accomplished in the past and utilize those things that have been successful and grow from there. This classroom reset could be just the thing that you need as you look ahead to your next school year. So continue to be on the lookout and on the listen for more information about the classroom reset. Now, I want to invite you to create your own did list. And maybe you think about different things, different categories of your professional life that you can actually consider. What are some of your professional wins? Maybe you attended some professional development. Maybe you had some successful lessons. Maybe you made some connections with others. Maybe you started listening to a new podcast. Maybe that's on your did list. Also consider your classroom victories. What are some of the routines that you established? Did engagement spike for you this year? Did you do any creative or arts integrated lessons, activities, or even those embedded moments? And I also want you to think about your personal breakthroughs as far as your professionalism, right? You're setting boundaries. Have you been setting more boundaries this year? Have you been trying something new? Have you been simply surviving those tough days with a smile on your face? All of this can go on your did list. Nothing is too small. Nothing is too vague. Nothing is too seemingly unimportant. I mean, heck, your did list could include something like you survived indoor recess in February without losing it. I'm telling you, that absolutely counts. And once you've done your first did list for your school year, I want you to consider how you can apply this to other parts of your life. Are you finishing off a season where, something big happened? Make a did list. Are you sending one of your kids off to college? Sit down and make a did list of their childhood. Did you just finish an entire weekend of chores? Oh my gosh, make a did list. We all know how gratifying it can be to cross things off of your to-do list, but it's just as gratifying to list all the accomplishments and things that you've actually done. So really consider making your own did list. And when you do, I want you to go ahead into our Inspiring Teachers Facebook community and share with us. Head over to theinspiredclassroom.com/community. Now listen, after you've done your did list and you have all of your accomplishments and you're gearing up for a new school year, if you're ready to think about how to get that new school year off to the best start possible, reset things that were maybe a little bit off this year, student behaviors, maybe some classroom management things, maybe some student engagement was a little bit off. Well, listen, I'm working on something just for you. Now, to hear about it, I want you to join the waitlist to get early access and maybe a few bonuses as well. So get on the insider list. Go to theinspiredclassroom.com/insider. You'll be the first to know when this new thing comes out soon. I hope this episode inspired you, encouraged you, or gave you a fresh idea to try. And if so, I would love for you to take a screenshot and text it to one of your teaching buddies. I'm so grateful that you landed here with me today, and it would mean the world to me if you would leave me a review over on Apple Podcast. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll catch you on the next episode. This is Elizabeth Peterson reminding you to get inspired so you can be inspiring to your students and enjoy teaching again.